Hello, my name is Rick Eastep, and for my demonstration speech, I'd like to talk about how to change your own oil. When I was young, I was probably like 16 or so, I was driving around my brother's car, and we kept hearing like this ticking noise, like a tick, 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 tick. And if you know anything about cars, that is an indication that you're getting very low on oil and have been low on oil for a long time. Well, his car ended up blowing up, and I asked my dad why that happened, and he was like, well, because he never changed his oil. So ever since then, I've been changing my own oil and been doing my own mechanic work. And so I feel like I'm credible enough to pass on this knowledge to other people that, it may help. So for my speech today, there's 3 main points about changing oil I'd really like to dig into. That is the prep, the actually changing of the oil, and the cleanup after the job is done. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, for the prep. According to Mobil.com, which if you don't know who Mobil is, it's a company that has built a brand around cars, which they would make oil filters, stuff like that. So they are pretty credible. They state that for your prep, you want to go ahead and have your jack stands, something to lay on, your tools, and other things that you might need, like the oil filter. You want to have them close and nearby the car. That way when you're underneath, you don't have to get up and get out of your spot once you're underneath there. Alright, next I'd like to talk about the actual doing the oil, the changing. So, you jack your car up, you put your jack stands under there, you lay down your piece of cardboard or whatnot, and you go ahead and you lie underneath there. And from the prep phase, you go ahead and you have your tools and your sockets and your new oil filter on there with you already. So, you want to slide your oil pan underneath your car, undo the drain plug, let all that oil drain out, put the drain plug back in, then move the oil pan underneath the oil filter. Now, according to CarQuest.com, which CarQuest is another car brand, when you're looking up how to change oil, a lot of car brands pop up, so that's the source I end up using. So according to them, when you loosen up your oil filter, you want to make sure that all the oil drains out. And the most important part is make sure that the old gasket is still not on the oil filter housing. If the oil filter gasket is still on there and you go to put the new one on, it could double gasket and it won't seal right and all your oil will go everywhere. So once you make sure that the old gasket is off, you take the new filter, you will have it in your hand, and there's like an O-ring around it. You'll see it. It's like a black plastic O-ring, kind of. You'll want to take some oil and rub it around that, because if you don't, then it will stick, and you'll have a hard time getting off the next time you go do your oil. So, you got the drain plug in there. You got the oil filter on there. The next step is to get out. So, you want to roll underneath. You want to get out from underneath your vehicle, get all your stuff, jack your vehicle back up, take your jack stands out, and let it down. Now, this is the fun part. Your hood should already be popped, but if it's not, go ahead and pop your hood. Take off your oil cap, and you're going to want to put some oil in it. Now, this is an empty bottle of oil, but it's the most common oil for most vehicles. It's 5W30. Quick way to find out what oil your vehicle takes, go up to the store, AutoZone, let's say, tell them your make and model, and they will tell you what oil and what oil filter to buy. So once you have the oil, you're going to pop open your cap, and you're going to go ahead and start filling it up. Check it about every 3 quarts, and make sure it ends between the max and min line. And why this is important is because, according to my Pontiac Haynes manual, when you are doing this, if it's above the fill line, or the full line, I should say, then it could build pressure and end up popping a gasket. And if it's below, then there's not enough oil in there, and you're having some metal on metal, which would not be great, and can cause the engine to tear itself up. So, you want to make sure you have the right amount of oil in there, and then start the car up for about 30 seconds, let it run, and make sure, double check, and make sure that the correct amount of oil is in there. Alright, so in this video, we talked about the prep phase, prepping your tools, prepping the jack, the oil pan, all the stuff that you're going to use. Then we talked about the actual changing the oil, taking the plug out, the filter out, putting the new filter on, making sure there's no double gasket. And then we talked about the actual finishing steps and the cleanup, the getting the tools out from underneath, the taking the jack stands out, and starting your car and making sure that the oil has filtered through and you have enough oil in your car. All right, that'll be all. Thank you.